Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat, and today we are doing the predictions, the watch party for the upcoming WWE Evolution pay-per-view, which of course is all women exclusive. Of course, this is counteracting AEW All In, so I'm hoping it's going to be a good show. I'm expecting a lot of things. It is a 7-match card, which is a lot more than what we normally get, and let's take a look at all of the participants we have in all the different matches. So we'll go over the matches first, and then we'll go over who I think is going to win. So we are supposedly, according to Wikipedia, starting with JC Jane as champion, with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Then we have Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Bloody Ripley. Then we have the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, which is the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss from SmackDown, who won a triple threat tag team match in order to become the number one contenders, essentially, versus Sol Ruka and Zarya from NXT, and versus the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane from Raw, who Asuka and Kairi Sane didn't do anything to qualify. Literally, Roxanne Perez was against Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane managed to get a roll-up pin, and then Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez took offense to that and started attacking her. Then Asuka ran out to save Kairi Sane, and then Adam Pearce in the back said, you know what, we need a team from Raw. How about you two, Asuka and Kairi Sane? We'll just reunite the Kabuki Warriors. And they were like, oh yeah, Kabuki Warriors. And it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss had to actually compete to challenge, and they just don't have any women's tag teams on Raw, it seems. So they had to put two people that weren't even a tag team currently back together again. So I think the titles are probably going to go away from Raw. I know that the Women's Tag Team Championships is supposed to allow them to go to any brands, but generally you've seen Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan - Roxanne Perez being largely relegated to Raw recently. Then we have a Battle Royale for the World Championship match at Clash in Paris, with the participants to be announced. Now, I think with that one, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this right here. The only one that's been given any proper promos for that Battle Royale is Nikki Bella. So I think if anyone other than Nikki Bella managed to win the Battle Royale, it would kind of underwhelm all of the promos that she's been doing. So I think Nikki Bella is just winning that one. I think it's just designed to give Nikki Bella a World Championship match at Clash in Paris. Next up, we have Tiffany Stratton as champion, defending the WWE Women's Championship against Trish Stratus. Then we have a no-holds-barred match of Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And then lastly, apparently the main event, supposedly, is the triple threat match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is Becky Lynch as champion defending against both Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I would actually be very surprised if that's the main event. I think it would be more likely to be Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, but that would be a surprising one. And the Women's United States Championship is not being defended at this show for some reason. It's the only women's title on main roster. There's also, of course, the Women's NXT Championship, but it's the only one that isn't being defended at Evolution. So let's run down the card and see who we think is going to win here. So JC Jane with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. I think since the NXT Championship is being defended on a main pay-per-view, this would be the absolute best time for Jordan Grace to pick up the win against JC Jane. Now, whether it's JC Jane or whether it's Jordan Grace, we have special cards for each of them. We've got the double heroic JC Jane, of course. We've got I've got the fortified one unhinged special edition Jordan Grace. both of which are going to give a lot of points. But I think this is probably the best opportunity for Jordynne Grace to win the NXT Women's Championship, to really showcase her power. A 3-on-1 essentially handicap match with Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix in there with JC Jayden, and I think this is the best possible point. I mean, it's either that or maybe Jordynne Grace wins it at Heatwave, but I think this is probably a bigger pay-per-view, and I think if they want to really promote NXT and get the audience watching NXT, get them excited for it, this is the best time for them to put Jordynne Grace in the main event picture. Now, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I initially had Rhea Ripley winning the title off of Io Sky, but I changed my mind on this, and I will explain why. It's because of the Battle Royale for a World Championship match at Clash in Paris. Because I'm so certain that Nikki Bella is the one that's going to win that Battle Royale, and it makes more sense for Nikki Bella to have a match with Io Sky, since they were so respectful to each other backstage on Raw before Nikki Bella was attacked by Liv Morgan, that it gives them a little bit of backstory, whereas Nikki Bella and Rhea Ripley have barely even looked at each other, far less had any kind of words of communication. So I am going to go ahead and place my chips down, saying that Clash in Paris is going to be Nikki Bella versus Io Sky. Now, the reason that I also had Rhea Ripley beating Io Sky initially is because they're doing the storyline that Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io Sky in a one-on-one match, in a one-on-one contest before. But I have to wonder how many titles are actually going to change hands at Evolution, as opposed to when titles are going to change hands at the likes of SummerSlam, which is a 2-night promotion. It's basically the summer version of WrestleMania, and I think they might be trying to do some longer storylines to lead into SummerSlam rather than to finish them off quickly here at WWE Evolution. So I think it's going to be Io Sky versus Nikki Bella, but I would be very pleased to see Rhea Ripley win, is my opinion. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not going to add any card in there for that one. Next up, we've got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. It's Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who I think are destined to lose the tag team titles, and I think they're probably going to lose because of Roxanne Perez, which is going to make a kind of fissure, a fracture in Judgment Day, where Raquel Rodriguez blames Roxanne Perez for losing the belts. I don't see Sol Ruca and Zarya winning the women's titles here, and I really don't think it should be Asuka or Kairi Sane, who only just reformed their tag team this week on Raw with a very, very rushed storyline. It feels like they've been added in there last minute. I think they have been building towards Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss being the unlikely tag partners, but I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss that are going to win the Women's Tag Team Championships, because we've had a pretty good storyline following Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair sort of accidentally helping each other out. So I'm going to put my bet on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for that one. The Battle Royale, I obviously already said. I think it's going to be Nikki Cross who's going to win it. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I think Tiffy Time is 100% retaining her World Championship, or WWE Women's Championship, sorry. I don't see Trish Stratus at this stage in her career holding the WWE Championship, especially when we've got so many storylines ongoing, with Jade Cargill being the Queen of the Ring winner, with Naomi having the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think it makes most sense for Tiffy to retain against the legend Trish Stratus. Next up, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no-holds-barred match. I think the only way that this makes sense is if Jade Cargill wins, because otherwise she's going to look pretty weak going into her championship match at SummerSlam, which she got from winning the Queen of the Ring. She got that number 1 contendership for that match. And if Naomi beats her here, it's going to kind of ruin the prestige or the mystique of Jade Cargill going into that pay-per-view. So I think Jade Cargill has to win against Naomi there. And then lastly, we have the Triple Threat WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, and it would be very easy to say that Becky Lynch retains, but actually I think this is a perfect opportunity to skyrocket Lyra Valkyria by having her beat two legitimate veterans and former champions in Becky Lynch and Bayley, beating two of the four horsewomen. In fact, we should really call it the three horsewomen at this stage. I mean, it's really Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Charlotte Flair. But beating two of the horsewomen at the same time, and especially if that is the main event, I think Lyra Valkyria is the one to win that Intercontinental Championship match. So let's go ahead and put some things in. I don't see Asuka winning. A lot of these girls aren't even in the pay-per-view. I think Lyra is winning the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think Zarya, Roxanne Perez, or Sol Ruka are going to win. Julia isn't there. Naomi shouldn't win. I think Tiffy is retaining her championship. Who else we have? Nikki Cross isn't there. Bayley is, but I don't think she's winning. Molly Holly, Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte Flair could win the belts with Alexa Bliss. And we are running low on people, actually. Let's go ahead and look at all of them. Io Sky. I think Io Sky is going to retain, actually. So yeah, I'm going to put that one in. And Alexa Bliss. Yep, I think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are going to win the tag titles. I'm just going to see if I've got a better Charlotte Flair. I don't think I do. Cora Jade, unfortunately, it's gone from the company. Yeah, no, I think that Charlotte Flair is the best one we have. And also, there is a special pack that you can get that I showed you in my previous video. That there's a free pack available on the WWE Supercard website that's going to give you an unhinged Jordan Grace, as well as quite a lot of other superstars, including a Season 1 super rare Nikki Bella that is available for free right on the website, yours to claim right now. And if you check out my previous video, you can see exactly how to go about doing that. But those are Grand Cat's predictions. I think Jordan Grace is going to win the NXT Championship from Jacy Jayne. I think Io Sky is going to defend against Rhea Ripley. I think Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are going to win the tag titles. I think Nikki Bella is winning the Battle Royale for the World Championship match at Clash in Paris. I think Trish Stratus is going to lose to Tiffany Stratton, and she is going to retain the Women's Championship. I think Jade Cargill has to beat Naomi in order to keep her relevance, and I think it's Lyra Valkyria's time to defeat Bayley and Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship and to pave way for the evolution of women for the future by going over to legend veterans. And with that said, folks, that is going to be it for this little video, and I really hope that you've all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so that you can see when more of these glorious little videos go out. And we shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.